The biblical city of Libnah was an independent city, probably near the western seaboard of Israel. At the time of the Israelite occupation of Canaan, Libnah had its own king. It is thought to have been an important producer of revenue and one that rebelled against the Judahite crown. According to Joshua chapter 21 verse 18, the city is assigned to the tribe of Judah as one of the 13 Kohanic cities during the Israelite settlement. The town revolted during the reign of the king Jehoram of Judah. According to 2 Kings chapter 8 verse 22 and 2 Chronicles chapter 21 verse 10, because Jehoram had abandoned the God of his father. The revolt took place at the same time as Edom revolted against Judean rule in 2 Kings chapter 8 verse 20 to 22. According to the Bible, Josiah, king of Judah, married Hamutal, daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. 1 Chronicles chapter 3 verse 15, 2 Kings chapter 23 verse 31 to 32, and 2 Kings chapter 24 verse 17 to 18, and also Jeremiah chapter 22 verse 11. Two of their sons, Jehoaz and Zedekiah, also became kings of Judah. Now let's examine Tel Burna to find out if Tel Burna is the biblical Libnah. Tel Burna is located in the Judean Shephelah along the northern banks of Neckar Govrin, slightly north of Lachish. According to Uzziel and SHAI, in their 2010 publication, The Settlement History of Tel Burna, result of the surface survey. Despite the clear prominence of the summit and the result of regional survey that made note of the significance of the site in the Bronze and Iron Ages, Tel Burna was never excavated prior to the commencement of excavation project in 2010. The high-resolution survey conducted prior to the beginning of the excavation in 2010 indicated that the site was first inhabited in the early Bronze Age and settled intensively in the Middle Bronze, Late Bronze and Iron Ages, and suggested that the fortifications date from the Iron Age II. But there is a problem, or I would say a question for you. Is it reliable to date architectural elements or ruins on the basis of survey data? Please leave a comment below. But there seems to be a bailout for us. Researchers say 77% of the shards collected on the surface of the summit enclosed by these fortifications date from this same period. This seems to corroborate the dating of this feature. And of course, if you are getting any value from this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to this channel and enable notification so you don't miss any update. The War of Independence. During the 1948 War of Independence, the Israeli Givati Brigade occupied the site of Tel Burna and dug out foxholes atop the Tel. These depressions are still visible along the perimeter of the ruin. Ironically, these soldiers had taken a defensive position directly over a fortification system that was last used around 2,600 years earlier. The exploration of Tel Burna in the 1960s produced some interesting information as well. A local shepherd who was herding in the Nahal Govrin discovered a cuneiform plaque with a depiction of the Mesopotamian demon goddess Lamashtu, completely by chance. This depiction is well known in Mesopotamia. But why is this peculiar? The peculiar thing about the plague is that it dates to the Iron Age II period, and this led researchers Mordecai Kogan to suggest that an Assyrian soldier might have dropped the tablet during one of the several raids against the Judahite Shephelah. While it is necessary to stress the uncertainty surrounding this find, we must look at it from another angle as well. If either Tel Burna or the nearby Tel Zaish is biblical Libnah, which according to 2 Kings chapter 19 verse 8 was the last conquest of Sennacherib before he headed to Jerusalem, then it is possible that this plague is a witness to the presence of the Assyrian forces that besieged and ultimately destroyed Libnah. This also makes sense geographically. A military camp to the east of Tel Burna or Tel Zayit would have eliminated communications, reinforcements and supply lines from interior Judeite cities. Several scholars have suggested Tel Burna as the location of the biblical city of Libnah. None of these sources, however, provide data as to the specific location of Libnah. Thus, others propose different locations, equally without much details. Sites such as Jovat Lavin, Tel Zayit, west of Tel Burna have all been proposed. Regardless of the location of Libnah, available data suggests that Tel Burna was a prominent settlement in the Iron Age. But let's dig a little bit deeper. Examining the excavations. So far, excavations at Tel Burna have produced substantial evidence for late Bronze and Iron Age occupations. Excavations in the eastern section has exposed a casemate fortification system in 4 of the squares. 2 parallel walls running north-south and connected by another perpendicular wall were revealed. The outer fortification wall is about 2 meters thick, with 6 courses of large filled stones exposed. Excavations east of this wall have produced significant amount of restorable Iron Age second pottery. The inner parallel line of the fortification is built of large filled stones of about 1.5 meters wide. 4 of these walls have been exposed to date. Although archaeologists are yet to reach a clear surface in the excavation, the pottery from the field almost entirely date from the Iron Age second. With the walls lying about 2 meters apart, the entire fortification system is about 5.5 meters thick. The later surface may be dated to the 8th century BC on the basis of the pottery found there. But what pottery have been discovered at Tel Burna? Let us examine the pottery. The earliest pottery assemblage exposed in relation to the fortification walls date from the 9th century BC. The most notable types include a small carinated bowl with a plain rim, red slip and interior burnishing, as well as a rounded bowl with ridges below a flattened rim. The vessel is red slip and hand burnished, typical of the late Iron Age second period. The fortification settlements along the border. From the above data, it is clear that the fortifications of Tel Burna were in use during the 9th and the 8th centuries BC. While the outer wall may have continued to function, the inner wall clearly went out of use by the 7th century BC. The site was most likely destroyed by Sennacherib in the late 8th century BC, and the fortification walls, or at least the inner wall of the casemate, not rebuilt when the site was resettled in the 7th century BC. The fortified sites along the western border of Judah appear to have been a strategic placement along the conflict zone with one of their primary adversaries, the Philistines. Such fortifications dating from the Iron Age II have been found throughout the Shafela. One example is Kebet Kiafa, located in the western part of the High Shafela on the summit of a hill bordering the Elah Valley to the north. This site controls the main road from Philistia to the hill country. Excavations have revealed a well-planned settlement, including an elaborately built fortification wall. On the basis of the stratigraphic observation, the pottery found and carbon dating, the archaeologists date the construction of the 2 gates and the casemate wall to the early Iron Age II, the first half of the 10th century BC. It seems that this would be the earliest fortified Iron Age site in the western Shafela. Question of the day: do you think Tel Burna is biblical Libnah? Leave your thoughts in comment section. Are you interested in the archaeology of the New Testament? Click the video on your screen right now to find out one of the greatest discoveries of the New Testament from the biblical city of Bethsaida. Subscribe to my channel and enable notifications so you don't miss our future videos. Remember to like this video so that the YouTube algorithm can show it to more people. Thank you very much for watching.